Call the May 22nd, 2025 Area Planning Commission meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Darren Price,
Present.
Bill Free is absent. Tim Sparks,
Present.
Dale Munson is absent. Gary Naylor,
Present.
Robert Stewart,
Present.
Brian Robb, Bill Mackey,
Present.
Greg Kiefaber,
Present.
Bill McDaniel,
Present.
Jeff Wessling,
Present.
and Beverly Rude.
We have meeting minutes from April 2025. Does anyone see any additions or corrections to those?
Making a motion to approve.
Motion to approve
I'll second it.
meeting minutes and a second.
Who's second?
Bob. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Zoning code updates.
Okay, well, what I provided you can see my comments on the yard exceptions, accessory uses, and so on. My comments, of course, are in the italicized. And so there do need to be some changes. Most of this is fairly straightforward. There's some places where we need to look at a little bit more in corrections, such as with the side yards on page 1, bottom of page 1. Now, there's going to be some others that are going to require definitely some extra research, and that's going to be with the manufactured homes. Because the reference in here, with 1993, it referred to different classes based on when it was built. That is not appropriate anymore, and so typically they aren't regulated in that manner. So it's just finding the language. I want to replace all those things with the classes. One thing is that then the manufactured homes, as that we do with the for the temporary use for care of a family member. Well, allowing them to use the possibly big portable tiny homes for that, and then also allow the the possibility of then tiny homes also in the mobile home parks. And yes, I still regularly get a lot of requests about what's going on with tiny homes. And okay, then accessory uses, then some new provisions to consider. So there's accessory dwelling units, both permanent and temporary. Information on the zoning code is often 400 to 800 square feet for the accessory uses. Okay, then about with the lot lines. Okay, maximum square footage for minimum footprint building. Setback. Okay, one we've talked about in the past is making it clear rather than having a setback. I know as with Gary's concerns were that accessory uses shall not be placed in any recorded easement rather than just having a setback, because some of them in town are going to be kind of tight.
Right.
So because should agriculture accessory uses require a permit? Okay, we already do for the electric service, but if there's other size structures, at what point should there be rather than waiving the permit requirements, for ag structures is there a point that we should? Now then, considering moving the home occupation accessory use, because in my mind, home occupations really aren't accessory use to the uses going on
Correct.
the property. And then there's some small changes with different parts there. Okay, now I need to do a little bit more research into the Indiana swimming pool code and make changes based on that. So that's gonna be a large one, but since this was adopted, it's, I think 2 or 3 times Indiana has amended the Indiana swimming pool code, so I want to make sure we're up and consistent with that.
Okay.
Okay, then the things like the ham radio, amateur radio, well, the height of the mast, well, then for maximum height for that zoning, anything taller, zoning district, anything taller would require variance, which they can do. Okay, and the other one is that I know people are concerned about, because I received, is that having something in there about the interference with radio or television receivers. And I believe that's actually a federal FCC thing, but I need to verify that, what those rules are. Okay, then I have some others there on the, it may require a permit. There's some right there, then some, it's like, why does this require a permit? Most of those are just some small things. Now, another one to work on is going to need a little bit more as far as with the language. It's changed completely for satellite TV antennas. And the maximum size, largest dish for things like dish TV are 36 inches. You might need something then for, say, the older technology, but I don't know who's going to use that stuff.
Right.
But, so then not having the restrictions on the locations for satellite receivers as it did previously when, as such as in 1993, you know, it said you had to be in the backyard. So I don't think it's necessary now. It's that part's actually antiquated. Then there's also a lot of questions as some of the things within the temporary uses. So some of those are, why is this necessary? Some of these are, well, should some of these then be a staff level approval? And some of them are, now some of them might say, still requires some type of temporary permit. And mostly that would be ones where they're gonna be really attracting people, because now anything like such as at the event this past weekend in the park, then at other types of events, they're required to do it, say for the events at the county fair, for the free fair, is that they now require, ever since that, what was it, what year was it, with the tornadoes and the storm that caused the collapse at the Indiana State Fair?
Yeah.
So ever since then, it's everything, they've gotta have an emergency escape plan. And so we had that it's now on a regular basis with the things that go on with the city down there, they have an actual plan in place. So when you have large events of people gathering, you need to have an egress plan. And that's under the Indiana State Code. Okay. And so one of them are, then in 6 and 7 has bazaars, carnivals, and some other things, such as outdoor tent theater. Maybe some of those need replaced with just a temporary assembly use. And, and for example, some of those in there is the sale of Christmas trees. Some of those are, why do we need that as a permit? Because mostly those are secondary pretty much for most businesses. All right, and let's see, the last page is, okay, we need to maybe, retain standards along with submission requirements for BZA approval or staff approval. So that's where I'm at, so if everybody could take a closer look at those. I didn't finish those until this morning, actually yesterday, but I'll get everybody, I'll email a copy of it, and it has all my my comments are actually in red rather than the grayscale.
Okay.
So if everybody can, and as in the past is, ask questions, write in questions, everything that's in there is you can use a red pen and bleed all over it. But, so that's where it stands with that, and so I think we can probably start to make some pretty good progress on this. And so what I would, after anything else and any other substantive changes in there with substance. And so I think this is gonna set us up pretty well for then, because some of these things we want to do with reformatting the zoning code anyway.
Right.
So when it comes time to reformat the zoning code, since that will also need a public hearing.
Right.
So with the zoning code, is that I really don't want any new substance in it. So, because that way it's just I think a lot simpler and cleaner is that these are all things that are already in here.
Right.
We just trying to make it easier to use, easier to read, and make it a more rational document.
Bill, I have a question.
Yeah, sure, Bob.
On the mobile homes.
Yep.
And I think I brought this up last time. C2, the existing mobile home, 3, I'm sorry. If an existing or replaced mobile home is removed from a lot for a period of more than 90 days,
Yeah.
another mobile home cannot again be located on that lot. What would be a circumstance in which it would not be allowed again? I mean, if it's been permitted before.
Okay, well, what's allowed is that, what that's basically referring to are older mobile homes that are on either a shallow pier or a pad. Because you can actually move, as long as it's a minimum square footage, you have to allow manufactured homes. This is, these are HUD rules, federal rules. So what we have in a lot of other places in place for that is if you want to put them on someplace there was not one previously, or it's been a long time since there's been one.
It's a special use mobile home or a special zoning mobile
No,
home?
no. The only one for that is for the care for a family member. That's the only one that's really a temporary use.
Okay.
And, but this one right there, you can bring them in as long as the minimum square footage is 1,080 square feet.
Okay.
But you require them to be on a foundation. And most people who do that, they're actually double wides, manufactured homes. Aren't too many people out there getting single wides anymore.
But if you've got a manufactured home on a half an acre lot, and you take it off for 6 months and put one back on, you could do that, couldn't you? If you
Well, you essentially lose the grandfather in that 90 days. That's what's really happening. So right now is, if it's within that 90 days and they replace it within that 90 days, is that then, so if they removed it from a place, say a part of town where there are several of them that are not in mobile home parks, okay, if within that 90 days then they can move one in and then place it on the pad. Now, when I have people talk to me about that, what I always suggest is that do not remove the mobile home until you're ready to replace it. That's just my recommendation for people.
So how would that work, like the ones there on top of 8th Street, that there are pads there, that obviously they've been gone for a while?
Those are actually up on top of 8th Street on both sides. Those are actually mobile home parks.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so, yeah.
Okay. Any other initial questions as we're looking at this?
But like I said, as I always mention, is if you have questions in the meantime while this is all going on, just let me know. Just send me an email, give me a phone call, stop by the office. Yeah, you know, I'm more than open and happy for that.
Okay. If nothing else there, we'll move on to director's report, which we have in front of us here.
Yeah, so you'll notice I did one thing different right here, because I'm seeing fewer people paying cash for permits. Those are usually smaller ones, and things like electrics, things along those lines, whether it's meter-based inspections, whether it's the regular electric upgrade permits. Those get paid in cash. If it's someone paying it for themselves, the contractors still pretty much usually write a check for those. And so I'm also starting to see more people with, okay, doing electronic payments, or people who come in, they bring in an application, but they want to pay for it with plastic, so then I invoice them so they can pay it online. So that's getting us to see more uses of electronic payments.
Okay. Is there, and I don't, is there a fee associated with that, or,
Oh, yeah, there's a fee for those, yeah.
okay,
Yeah, yeah, just the reinstall inspection it's primarily a safety inspection. And that-
no, I'm like for the use of the card. Like most
Like a
places are charging
3%
like
fee or
3%.
3.5.
Oh, that's factored in.
Okay.
That's
okay.
factored into the fee, because it states on there that they're responsible, then they're gonna be paying for the actual fee. So that's why we have the iWork, the permit program, but the company we work with is, I think it's called iRock, is that, so that's what pays for their expenses, is what that's for. Yeah, so that's actually charged on top of it. So all we get is the actual fee, and they get then the actual processing fee.
Okay. Okay. Anybody have any questions on the director's report?
Mr. President.
Yes.
Bill,
Yeah,
any idea why we're running 10 permits behind last year?
well,
Thoughts, ideas?
a lot of it was last year, was that okay, we had a rush of those, yeah, a lot of dwellings, and so we had more dwellings. But the other one is but I just have fewer coming. So I suspect that some people, because of what's going on with interest rates and economy, the uncertainties with the, interest rates, bank rates, what the tariff rate, what the effect of tariffs are gonna be on construction costs. So I suspect a lot of people are really sitting back on that.
I just wondered, because it seems like the contractors I talk to are still just as busy as they've always been,
Yeah.
if not busier, and it concerns me that we're 10 permits behind.
No, because we're still getting permits coming in.
Gary, do you have, and this may not be a fair question, but any idea how many contractors, building contractors we have in Fayette County?
I don't anymore.
We used to have a bunch of
We
them.
used to have several. I think there's less of them.
Why, I have no doubt, and I was just curious how many.
Organized contractors, should I say.
Yeah, okay, what we do have is as people come in and they get the permits with the, it's one thing we can do with the new, with the permit program we have, is when we get new contractors coming in, they always give me their contact information, so I do have a list of contractors, local and non-local, contractors that have been working through us. So,
And that might be a good tool for this board to use
yeah,
in the future. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
for some of our planning.
Yep. So, but yeah, so they're making really good progress over with Reed. So on the first part that they did that's closest to Park Road, the one-story part, is that Bill was there last week for the last overhead inspection. So they're able to then drywall the overhead there. So next one will be part B, which is the next part, the second part, which is still a one-story part. Then after that's going to be the first floor and then the second floor. So they're really framed up. They're getting most of the doors framed in. So so most of the drywall's in place with most of these. So they're still going to just need to then do the final inspections to get everything covered for the everything for the overhead, which will be because we did the inspections on the mechanical, the overhead of mechanical, the electric, the plumbing. So the last one is going to be to, once again, it'll be make sure that like I said, the junction boxes. Because there's so many junction boxes, it's easy to miss them.
Yeah.
And so and especially with commercial projects, as far as with the electricians, that's the main thing I find, are some junction boxes. You get in a hurry and you miss them. The other one I find is when someone comes through, they get in a hurry, this is also in residential, but they get in a hurry, and it's missing the locations for the fire caulk. But so, yeah, and once again, I'm really happy with Bill Hughes, and Bill's settling in really nicely. He still has questions here and there, but he's starting to do fill in most of the permits. So he's starting to learn more about at least using the GIS to find things. So the one thing Bill made clear at the start is if his weakest area was he didn't use computers as much, but he had enough use with them, he's able to then learn to do these other things with it. So I'm really happy with them. And that pile of crap that you see in the middle of the office there, Gary, that's slowly going away.
Is it?
It is.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it helps when you have time to do things.
Okay, any other questions on director's report?
Motion to approve as presented.
I have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
Okay. We did the minutes, right?
Yes.
Didn't hear it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody have anything else?
Mr. President,
Yes.
Nick Thomas, I think, sent an email out to everybody this last week, I believe it was, that Rush County has now passed a new solar ordinance,
Okay.
and it very closely follows ours. Jeff, you might
I'd
want to
agree.
comment.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say they're pretty consistent, so I don't think because a lot of these projects will potentially be across county lines as we saw before, so I think they're pretty consistent.
So
Okay.
we must have been on the right path with ours if the adjoining county followed suit.
Okay.
Well, depends which direction you go.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
We have a motion for adjournment. Do we have a
Second.
second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Good evening. Call the May 22nd, 2025 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Jeff Fisher,
Here.
Darren Price,
Present.
Bill Freed, Richie Stevens,
Here.
Bill McDaniel,
Present.
Jeff Wessling,
Present.
and Beverly Root.
Okay, we do have minutes from the April 24th, 2025 meeting. Anybody have any additions or corrections to those? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
A motion, we have a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right.
Well, can I say one thing really quickly about minutes? Is
Sure.
that we're running on timeline to get caught up on minutes. We need to be caught up. What was it, John, July 1st?
Yeah.
And then getting those to
Don't wait
Johnson.
till the last second.
Oh, no, I'm trying not to. But, so we can get all those and get all those so they can get replaced online.
Okay, we've got introduction of new members on here, but I think we've already met Richie.
Yes.
Okay, we have two public hearings this evening. The first one is parcel number 21-05-24-504-526.000-003. Maplewood, lot number 7, block number 43, 0.25 acre, 1841 Grand Avenue, Connersville City Township, Section 24, Township 14N, Range 12E. Petitioner Matt Parsley, owner is Christ Church of Connersville. Zoning classification is R1, single family residential. Petitioner is requesting a dimensional variance petition relief from the lot size requirements for a proposed split of 1821 Grand. The petitioner is requesting that the single lot of 12,196.8 square feet into two parcels consisting of 5,793 square feet and 6,577.56 square feet in order to separately sell the church building and the parsonage. Okay.
Please introduce yourself and for the record and explain what's being done.
Matt Parsley, I'm the registered rep for Christ Church of Connersville. That's essentially what he said. We own both properties. We lease the parsonage as a rental. We have the church building. We'd like the ability to sell those separately in case the buyers are interested in one or the other. So we had Jerry Gobin survey them separately. Then it came to my knowledge we had to get a variance to actually separate those. So that's what we're trying to do.
See in my staff report is that what being requested is actually consistent with a lot of the parcels in that area of Connersville. There's very few of them are full parcels up in that area. So a lot of, yeah, so there's so yeah, that's what, yeah, and it's consistent with the character of the neighborhood.
Is the church no longer being used as a church?
We are the ones constructing a new church building out on Fifth Street.
Gotcha.
So we mainly wanted to, the hope would be we could sell them both together, but we thought it might be possible that someone might buy the church building and want to use it, but an investor might buy the rental property. We thought someone might repurpose the church building, so we are still in there presently using it. But we were hoping to sell it to someone. I actually thought someone may petition, and I assume this board if they wanted to change the use, like to residential or something, but they're not selling it as that, or something as it is.
Yeah, so, well, wouldn't need to go through anything with the zoning board to change the use of the church. So changing over to residential, that's just a matter of someone submitting the plans and then going through a change of use and then the remodel permit for the change of use. And that's also what they have to do with that. So they wouldn't need any special dispensation.
We've had some potential buyers act like, they want to change it to residential, but that would be
That's up to them.
their baby to figure that out.
Yeah, so I have had some phone calls about both.
Any other questions? Okay. If not, I will entertain a motion to either approve or reject.
I'll make a motion that we approve it.
Okay, you have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right. Good to
Do you
go.
need me to remain on or here or
We don't have
ready to
anything.
work or anything?
No, what you'll get from me is sometime during the course of next week, there'll be a letter explaining to you what the result was, and that's something I want in your records also.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay. Next up, we have petitioner Joseph Schoenfeld, parcel number 21-05-24-013.000-003, Conwell's fourth lot, number 3 block, number 2, 1123 Fayette Street, Huntersville City Township, section 24, Township 14 North, range 12 East. Owner is Brian Wilson. I'm asking for zoning classification, R1, single family residential. Petitioners requesting a home-based business to operate a pet grooming business in a 560 square foot accessory building on an appointment only basis. Somebody wanna?
You can tag team us.
I'm Joseph Schoenfeld. It's actually Wilson, but Schoenfeld my name. Yeah, I'm Brian Wilson. I'm the homeowner.
Okay. Okay, so maybe tell us a little bit about the building.
Okay, so we already have a cement slab out there from a previous owner. We just want to repurpose it and kind of do another layer of cement on top, just to make it level, and put a metal building on top.
And they are aware that it requires a 5-foot setback from the side property line. So when you look at the photographs, they're kind of deceiving because it's unusual the way, it's one of the parts of town where if you look at the area photograph, you'll see that the houses and are not square with the property lines.
Wow, yeah, they are not.
So it does make it deceiving when you look at it from that perspective, from the back, from the alley looking toward it, that it's almost right on the property line. The slab is actually off of the property line. So. Oh, could you all explain then how you will then operate your business, then the hours of the operation, that type of thing? Yeah, certain kind of some of the nitty gritty on how you use it.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't quite decided 100% on the hours yet. My main focus was just getting the property but it would be by appointment only. I would only be open like Monday through Friday, either that or Tuesday through Saturday, one or two. But it would be, like I said, appointment only, so somebody drop off would be groomed, and the only time there would be more than one female there is at a time, like if somebody's picking up something, somebody dropping off. So, other than that, we'd just be doing the parking lot back there, this building.
I do want to say something about the board members is, as you probably see looking at that, is that Mr. Wilson did a fantastic job on putting things together. I mean, there's times I really have to leave people a lot, and all the things I was asking for were provided by Mr. Wilson without me having to go back through it. It saved me actually a lot of work also, by everything that Mr. Wilson did. So, he got it.
And then we're okay with plumbing or building.
Yeah, they'll just need to run anything like that. On the electrical, need to run out there.
So how will they be hooking up to the city sewer then?
Okay, are you gonna tie back, yeah, what are you gonna, okay, about sanitary. Okay, so you're gonna install some plumbing out there, of course, right? Okay, and does your sanitary go out to the alley, does it go out toward the street? Okay, so you'll need to then, as you do this, figure out how you're then gonna get the sanitary, because you probably have to then get the sanitary goes, I assume then into to what's under the house and then taking that out to the street. Now, depending upon the size of the electric service that you have right now, is that you can probably run is it 100 or 200 amps that you have? Okay, so you upgrade to 200 amps, that'll provide you enough then off of your existing electric, so you don't have to get a new electric service for Duke. You could then run off from the existing panel, so you upgrade it to 200 amp service, and that'll give you an opportunity to run a sub panel out to the building. Yeah. It'd be the same thing with the water as you would be doing with the sewer, the sanitary.
Anybody else have any other questions? Okay, if not, I will entertain a motion to either approve or reject.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
Have a motion, do I have a second? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll send you a letter letting you know what the results were. But when you get ready to do everything, is you get the building permit. And then when you get the building permit, that's how you have an idea of how you're gonna handle the electric, the water, and then also the sanitary.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Okay, move on down to director's report. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, if not, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion, we approve the director's report.
We have a motion to approve, do we have a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And, anybody has nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Richie? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Good thing I showed up tonight.
Yeah, we wouldn't have
Any opposed, same sign. And we are adjourned.
Okay.